were talking before about my concerns about data centers as a real estate asset class, and you had an interesting theory.
I was trying to trace all these pretty Byzantine and somewhat incestuous commitments that are happening between the large tech companies, between the digital infrastructure providers, and it's actually very hard to trace who's going to ultimately pay for it all. But ultimately, it has to be paid for in the economy. If you looked at the amount of AI compute that would be required to fill all the data centers that are in production or have been announced to go into production, and then you assume that the tech companies have to make some profit on top of that to justify it, which they're not today, but let's assume they have to. Take any margin you want, assume that's the revenue that's then therefore flowing to large language models and AI. What percent of US GDP would that be today if you ran that math? My fear is that it might be like 120% of US GDP, because I'm a believer, like Barry, in the long-term benefits of AI and how profound it will impact our economy. What I am more cynical and suspicious of is some of these arrangements around the supply of digital infrastructure